Hi, Jay here with Laguna Tools and the newest member of our line of Revo lathes. This is the new Revo 1014 lathe. This is a benchtop machine, so it's a little bit smaller than our other ones, and today we're showing it on the optional workstand. The Revo 1014 has a beautiful cast iron headstock, and it's built just like our other Revo lathes with a projected nose cone. This projected nose cone allows us to have wider bearing spacing, and that provides a lot more stability for the spindle. It also allows you to bring your tool in and around your work project for better access to your workpiece. Over on the left side of the headstock, you'll find the hand wheel. This is a large 4.5-inch hand wheel. This allows users to rotate the spindle and rotate their workpiece for finishing or installing a chuck or for any number of different functions. The spindle itself has indexing, and this is in-head indexing. The pin is right here, it's spring-loaded. That can be rotated and dropped in place. There are 24 positions on the in-head indexing, and this allows you to do decorative work on your turnings. And you can select from any one of the 24 positions on the flywheel that's on the inside. When not in use, this stores in the out position. The Revo 1014 is a variable speed lathe, and that means you can work on pieces that are thin and narrow at high speeds or larger diameter pieces at slower speeds. Speed control is done in one of two fashions. First off, we have a 3-step pulley on the inside, and that allows you to set the range that you're going to use, and you'll want to set that range first to keep the torque range in the correct area. So if you're doing slow pieces like bowls or larger vessels, set the pulley on the slow speed, and then you can fine tune it here with the knob on the top. Medium speed for spindle work and for pins, bottle stoppers, and very small things, you can set that onto the highest speed for those types of things. So set that here with the belt, and then fine tune that right here with the control knob. The belt can be moved very, very easily. There's a handle here at the bottom that releases the tension on the belt. Once that tension is released, there's a door on the side, one at the top. The side door is used for the lower pulley, and the front door is used for the top pulley. Once that is set, you can tension up the belt with this lever and then finally lock it in place. And then you're ready to roll. The Revo 1014 is equipped with a powerful 1-horsepower induction motor that gives you plenty of torque for a wide range of projects. The spindle is a hardened spindle, and it's a 1-inch in diameter with 8 threads per inch, and that'll accept the most popular chucks. When you're installing a chuck or a faceplate onto the spindle threads, you'll want to lock the spindle, and there's a convenient spindle lock right here. It's a push-button lock. Simply push this in and rotate the spindle until it engages the lock, and then you can tighten down your chuck or faceplate, and once you let that loose, it's ready to use. There's even a convenient window so you can look through and see which belt position you're on. Right here at the top of the headstock, you'll see that there's a control panel, and it's ergonomically placed to make it very easy for the operators to use. It's tilted toward the operator so that you can see the DRO, or what we call the digital readout, and that's pointed toward the operator, and you have easy access to all of the controls for speed on the lathe. First off, you'll see that there's a main on-off switch, and it's illuminated because I have power applied to the lathe. If you don't have that switch illuminated, it means you need to go and plug the lathe in or turn on your breaker. With that illuminated, I can start the lathe just by a simple push of this on switch, and you'll see the DRO illuminate and provide the RPM for the spindle. Right now it's at around 1300 RPM, and I can go through and increase that or decrease that just with a simple twist of the knob right here. I can also go through and change the orientation of the spindle from forward to reverse with a push of a button. You can do this before you turn the lathe on, or you can do it while it's running. If you do it while it's running, the lathe will slow down, it'll stop, and it'll reverse direction, and it'll give you the RPM, of course, in the rearward position right now, or in the reverse direction. When it is in the reverse mode, this light will continuously flash. You'll see that the speed is flashing. It'll give you a correct readout, but it'll be flashing to indicate to the operator that the lathe is in reverse. And that way you don't apply a tool to your workpiece when it's in the reverse mode. Turning the lathe off is just as simple as hitting the button. Well, I'm still here on the headstock here. I want to come to the back side of the headstock and show that there's an onboard tool storage tray right here at the rear. All these tools are conveniently located like the knockout bar. This is a knockout bar to help you remove the spur drive from the headstock. Simply slide this in to the drilled spindle and give it a tap. It'll knock out the spur drive, and I can put that over here in the convenient rack here on the tailstock. Finally, this knockout bar can go back in position. You'll have a number of other tools at your disposal, including a faceplate. This is a 3¼ inch faceplate. It threads onto the 1 inch by 8 TPI spindle, and as you go to tighten that down, you'll use the spindle lock to lock the spindle, and then finally the wrench that is supplied with the machine to go through and tighten that faceplate into place. You'll also find that there are a few Allen wrenches in the back here and a few other accessories located right here on the tool tray. Now, moving down the cast iron bed, we'll find the Banjo and tool rest assembly. The Banjo has a heavy-duty cast iron base, and the tool rest actually has a hardened steel edge. The Banjo uses a steel rod to tighten it down, and it's a padded handle that makes it very easy to reposition the tool rest and to lock it in place and keep your hands comfortable. The tool rest has a hardened steel edge, and that allows you to go through and slide the tool back and forth very easily, and this resists denting if you get a catch or have any other problems with the tool striking the edge of the tool rest itself. And then finally, there's a steel handle that can be loosened and allows you to position the tool rest anywhere you need. This uses a 1 inch diameter post, so you can fit optional tool rests on there from some of the popular makes, or you can use one of our optional length tool rests. One item that's often overlooked on lathes is the bed itself. And the Revo 1014 uses a heavy cast iron bed with machined ways, and that provides a good support here for the headstock and a smooth path to move the tailstock down to line it up here. We'll lock that in place, give the handle a crank, and you can see just how smooth and accurate the Revo 1014 is. Down at the far end of the bed is the tailstock assembly, and it's built like the rest of the lathe, cast iron and heavy duty. And that dampens out the vibrations, just like the headstock and the bed do. This tailstock holds your workpiece securely. There's a large spindle here that has a generous 3½ inch travel, and that's made out of solid steel, so it really supports the workpiece. You'll find that it's equipped with a very luxury live center here, and that's a self-ejecting quill on this. There's a lock handle on the back, and that allows you to set your position once you're done moving the quill assembly. Again, it's equipped with a padded handle, so when you go to move the tailstock, you loosen it up, slide it into position, and firmly lock it in place with that handle. At the end, there's a nice heavy-duty hand wheel on the end, and that allows you to position. You can drill with the tailstock quill, or you can just simply position and clamp workpieces with it. And again, to eject this live center, retract the quill all the way into the inside position, and it'll pop that live center right out, and I can drop it right here in the rack that's conveniently located right within the tailstock itself. Now, underneath this tailstock is this right leg assembly, and hidden inside of it is the control box that supplies the power for the lathe. And we've added a 110 volt outlet to this control box so that you can plug in an optional work light that can mount on the back of the headstock. You simply bring the power over and plug it in, and that way your plug for the lathe carries the power for the work light also. Once you have the Revo 1014 in your shop, you'll want to accessorize it, and one of the first accessories that you'll want is this workstand. It's an adjustable height workstand. These legs will telescope in and out so you can set it at a comfortable work height. And in order to move this assembly around your shop, we've got an optional wheel kit that's available as well. Simply step on the pedal here to raise the lathe up, get it on the wheels, and it moves easily around your shop. The Revo 1014 is supplied with a 6-inch tool rest. We offer these in optional sizes, including a 6-inch, an 8-inch, and a 12-inch tool rest. One of my favorite accessories are the optional LED work lights that we offer. We have 3 different choices. This is a bendable spine lock style. We also have rigid arm lights, both long and can style, and we have different ways to mount them. There's an optional magnet system that lets you place this anywhere that has a magnetic surface, or you can bolt them using one of the brackets on the back side of the headstock. This light will plug in to the outlet that's underneath the tailstock. If you're turning long items like table legs or stair spindles and things like that, you'll want to have a little bit more bed length, and we offer an extension that does just that. This is a 13.5-inch extension. When you mount this to the end of the bed, you'll actually move the stop from the end of the lathe down to the end of the extension, and then use the 2 small leveling screws that are built into this bed extension to perfectly tune this mating point here. Then you just simply unlock the tailstock, slide it down to the end, and you've got a long length here now that you can turn. Now, if you're looking for any additional details or specifications on the 1014 lathe, look us up on the web at lagunatools.com. You can find accessories, setup videos, and owner's manuals there on our webpage. In order to purchase this machine, you can only purchase this through authorized Laguna Tools dealers worldwide. Thanks for choosing Laguna Tools.